Most people think focus is about grinding harder. But after 63 years of juggling businesses, kids, aging joints, and a brain that occasionally wanders off like a dog off leash, I've learned this. You do not fix your focus by trying harder. You fix it by thinking differently. The ancient Stoics understood this long before productivity apps and dopamine detox videos. And today I want to show you the 3 Stoic tricks that genuinely rebuilt my attention when nothing else worked. Before we dive in, tell me in the comments what you struggle to focus on the most. Work, reading, fitness, relationships. I want to tailor future episodes for you. Here are the 3 Stoic tricks that fix my focus. They come from Marcus Aurelius Epictetus and a few decades of my own battle testing. These are simple ideas, but do not confuse simplicity with weakness. A dull knife is simple too, but with enough sharpening it cuts clean. Stay with me until the end, because the Stoics saved the most surprising technique for last. And it is the one that hit me hardest at 57, right when my attention started acting like a radio losing its signal. If anything in the next section resonates, drop a comment so we can talk about it. Trick 1. The dichotomy of control. Focus on effort, not outcome. This is the Stoic engine room. If you only took one principle from tonight's video, this would be it. Lack of focus rarely comes from a lack of willpower. In my experience, focus collapses because the mind keeps leaking attention toward things we do not control. A client's mood. The number of views a video will get. Whether your boss praises you. Whether the market will finally behave this week. All of these sit outside your circle of control. The Stoics said, split the world into 2 piles. What you control and what you do not. When I was in my 40s, I used to ruin perfectly good mornings writing reports while thinking about whether my manager would be impressed. The work got slower and the anxiety got louder. One day, I scribbled a note to myself that saved me. Effort is mine. Outcome is not. I still keep it on a sticky note near my desk. The trick in action. Whenever your attention drifts into worry, prediction, or storytelling, run the 2-pile method. Pile 1, you control. Your intention, your effort, the next physical action you take. Your attitude. Pile 2, you do not control. Reactions, external events, outcomes, opinion, luck. Most of your distractions live in pile 2, which means most of them are none of your business. How to apply it to your focus. If you are writing a report, your job is not to impress your boss. Your job is to write clearly, 1 sentence at a time. If you are preparing for a meeting, your job is not to predict how everyone will feel. Your job is to prepare with care. Every time your mind wanders, ask the Stoic checkpoint question. Is this thought helping me do the task in front of me? If the answer is no, gently redirect back to effort. I used to treat distractions like enemies. Now I treat them like confused visitors. I simply point them back outside the door. Before we move on, write in the comments what your biggest pile 2 distraction is. Naming it is the first step to shrinking its power. And stick around, because the next trick will show you how to reduce distraction before it even starts. Trick 2. Do less better. The essentialist mindset. Marcus Aurelius wrote, if you seek tranquility, do less. Or rather, do what is essential. I used to read that and think, Marcus, my friend, have you seen my calendar? But he was right. Most people are not losing focus because they are lazy. They are losing focus because they are doing too many things, and most of them do not matter. The enemy of attention is not failure. It is dilution. In my 50s, I had a habit of starting my mornings by checking email. If you want a surefire way to hand your attention to other people's priorities, that is it. One day I tried something different. Instead of opening email, I sat down with a cup of tea and asked myself, what is the one thing today that actually moves my life forward? Not the urgent thing, the essential one. I call this the morning filter. And it changed my weeks completely. The trick in action. Before the day begins, choose your MIT, your most important task. 1. Not 3. 1. This is your essential task of the day, and your commitment is to give it one uninterrupted block of deep focus. How to apply it to your focus? As you start your MIT, the world will immediately try to interrupt you. Emails, notifications, meetings that could have been a voice note. When this happens, ask the Aurelian question: is this necessary? If the answer is no, delay it, decline it, or ignore it until your MIT block is done. Most people ask, how do I stop being distracted? The better question is, how do I stop inviting distractions? Simplicity is not the lack of activity. It is the presence of priority. One funny discovery I made: at 60, my focus got better when my to-do list got shorter. Age doesn't always weaken you. Sometimes it sharpens your ability to see the nonsense. Drop your MIT for tomorrow in the comments. I want to see what you are committing to. And stay with me, because the final Stoic trick is the closest thing to a superpower I have ever used. Trick 3. Radical presence. Treat this task as your last. If the first trick manages your thoughts and the second manages your environment, this third one manages your time. The Stoics believe we waste more time through distraction than through death. The past is gone. The future is uncertain. The only thing you truly own is what sits in front of you. Marcus Aurelius warned against living like you will live forever. He wrote, "Approach each task as if it were the last." When I first read that in my 30s, it sounded dramatic. Now in my 60s, I understand exactly what he meant. You do not have time to waste your time. The trick: treat the task in front of you as if it were the last meaningful act you will ever perform. Not in a morbid way, but in a liberating one. When you do this, distractions lose their glamour. How to apply it to your focus? Create a distraction-free container. Put your phone in another room. Close every browser tab that is not essential. I joke that my mind is like an old computer. It runs beautifully when I stop opening 30 windows. Use sensory anchoring. Pay close attention to the physical experience of the task. Fingers on the keyboard, breath in your chest, the sound of your pen. This pulls you back into the present moment faster than brute discipline ever could. Practice gentle redirection. I learned this from meditation. When your mind drifts, do not scold it. Just notice the drift, label it lightly, and return to the task. 1,000 returns make a master. When I started treating each task as if it mattered deeply, my days became more peaceful. Not because I was doing less, but because I was finally inhabiting what I was doing. And that is where focus lives. Not in force, but in presence. Before we wrap up, tell me in the comments. What is one activity you want to become fully present for this week? Work, family, health, creativity. I will read every message. Conclusion: if you combine these 3 Stoic tricks, your focus becomes something very different. It becomes less about discipline and more about identity. You become the kind of person who focuses, not the kind who tries to focus. First, you master the internal world with the dichotomy of control. Second, you shape the external world with the essentialist mindset. Third, you reclaim the present moment with radical presence. It took me decades to learn that the mind is not a wild horse you force into submission. It is a companion that follows clarity. Give it a clear task, a clean environment, and a grounded purpose, and it will finally work with you instead of against you. If you found any of this helpful, let me know in the comments which of the 3 Stoic tricks you are committed to practicing this week. I want this channel to be a space where we grow together. And if you want more practical wisdom on health, wealth, and living well after 50, hit subscribe so you do not miss the next episode. Take care of your focus. It shapes your life more than your age ever will.